That's another advantage to a Breville is it doesn't heat up the whole house. All right, moving on. Just need to rinse my blender. And then I'm going to show you some of my favorite sauces and dressings that I make on a weekly basis in my rotation. That beef, I don't know if you guys heard it, that beef just basically said that the red lentil pressure cooker is coming up the pressure. So you can see, some haven't even been going an hour, and 2 pressure cooker recipes have already, come up to pressure. So the first thing I'm going to make is one of my favorite salad dressings. It's called lemon poppy seed dressing, and then I'll give you a variation on that as well. If for some reason you don't like mustard, then it would be called lemonade dressing, and then it would be 100% raw if you are following a raw food diet. Salad dressings, so, when you buy them in jars, they can be expensive, or bottles, but they usually have a lot of ingredients that you can't pronounce, stabilizers, preservatives. Most of the time they have oil, sugar, and salt. And you can really make a delicious dressing from relatively few ingredients. I believe, again, I don't think water, this has maybe 3 ingredients, maybe 4. And it's super easy to make. You just put it in a blender. I would imagine that 2 of the ingredients you probably already have at your house. If not, you have access to water and lemon juice. Your favorite mustard. I like to use a stone ground mustard. This is a no salt brand that I like. Westbury also makes a no salt brand, but again, if you use salt, please feel free to use that brand. For the pink thing, it's like, here it is. Okay. So there are some dates in this recipe for sweetness. And so even though I have a high flour blender, not everybody does. So I pre-soak the dates in advance. So usually when I do this, I make a double or triple recipe, but I already have some, so I'm just making a single recipe: dates, lemon juice, water. If you do use fresh lemon juice, why not use the zest? We'll give it more flavor. This is bottled organic lemon juice. And if you don't want to put the mustard in, it'll be sweeter, but it will still be good. But I do like to put in the mustard. It's only 2 tablespoons anyway. I find Dijon is a little bit too strong for me, but if that's your preference, go right ahead. And I'm going to blend. There's only 2 more ingredients. It is lemon poppy seed dressing. So one of the ingredients is poppy seeds, and one of the ingredients is chia seeds. And the reason I use chia seeds is because it's a natural thickener. And so it'll help the dressing kind of stick to the greens. And this is especially good on greens like bitter greens, like arugula. But I like to put it in after the first blend, because otherwise you can't see the little specks of poppy seed, which is traditional in poppy seed dressing. And then you just have to blend it for a second. And done. So I use a lot of vinegar. My favorite brand is California balsamic. And after the vinegar is empty, instead of recycling it, I put it in the dishwasher. The label comes off. And then these are my salad dressing bottles. And then when I give gifts, it's great. I don't have to ask for it back. This is a funnel. We pour it in. Now, my husband doesn't like spicy things. I do. So I sometimes like to put a little jalapeno powder in. If I was making this just for me, this made almost a full bottle. A little piece of date didn't get it. It's okay. And then it doesn't look very thick now, but if you've ever used chia seeds for any other reason, maybe making chia pudding, you know that in a few hours, it does get thick. Not super thick that you can't pour it, but much thicker. That didn't even take 5 minutes to make. So you could be making a delicious, healthy dressing without oil for a fraction of what you would pay. So we'll just put this aside. And I'm going to make my favorite sauce for vegetables. So I'm just going to need a minute because I'm going to need some of this equipment again. So I do have to use it. But I'll tell you what I'm making. and it's called Thai peanut-free sauce. So if you've ever eaten at a Thai restaurant or any restaurant that makes peanut sauce, you know how delicious peanut sauce is. But peanuts, while not unhealthy, are very, very caloric dense. And if I were to use the traditional peanuts or peanut butter in this Thai sauce, it would have 72 grams of fat. By using a secret ingredient, it's going to be 7 grams of fat. But I think it's exactly the same because it has all the other components that you find, like ginger, garlic, lime juice, crushed red pepper. Anybody, I can see the chat, but I'm wondering if anybody can guess what the secret ingredient is. And this is one ingredient. I did get it on Amazon. It is available at some stores like Sprouts, Trader Joe's, and Whole Foods, but often only around the holiday season. But you can always get it on Amazon. It's often available at regular grocery stores, even around the Passover season for some reason. I don't know why, but it's chestnuts. I learned about this from Ann Esselstyn, the wife of Dr. Esselstyn, and they are delicious. You want to have them roasted, and they taste just like peanuts. Okay. Got one more thing right with you. And like all the other recipes, I have everything measured in advance. When dates need soaking, there's some dates in here. Usually peanut sauce will be, a traditional peanut sauce recipe will be peanut butter. A lot of people use peanut butter. I don't really like to process ingredients, and I think this is even a healthier choice. So it's got lime juice, which is traditional, ginger, garlic, and crushed red pepper, and then usually the sweetener is usually made with syrup. So I'm using dates. We actually had this last night. We had steamed vegetables. We had broccoli, purple cabbage, white cabbage, and carrots with scallions, water chestnuts, and this sauce is delicious. And you can make it more spicy, you can make it less spicy, you can make it more thin, you can make it more thick. It's your choice. So I like ginger, which is traditional in this recipe, but I don't love ginger. So I don't buy a lot of ginger because I don't use a lot of ginger. So one of the shortcuts I have, and these are available in most stores, and they come ginger and garlic. Just want to make sure it doesn't have oil or sugar, salt. Some of them do. It's in the freezer section, and then you can just pop out these little cubes, whatever you need. So I have my little cubes of ginger, 2 of them popped out. This is fresh garlic, but if I bought this in the garlic version, I could use that instead. I already measured out my liquids, which are water, rice vinegar, lime juice, and my soaking dates. And I do about half the red pepper that I write in the recipe. It's less traditional, but my husband doesn't like spice. And then the secret ingredient, roasted chestnuts. And these are available all year round on Amazon and depending on where you live, sometimes Costco. These are delicious. And like I said, instead of 72 grams of fat, 7 grams. So you can eat more. The recipe calls for a cup of water. I usually put in a cup and a half because then I get more. You don't want to put in too much water, you won't get flavor. And then we just blend. That little noise I heard means there's probably a date in there. I should have been more careful to check. This smells so good. Let me just pour it in something so you can see how beautiful it is. And this will take several days in the fridge. There's the date pit right there. I don't know why they call them pitted dates. I always find a pit. So this is what it looks like. So this is a little bit thinner than what it might be in the recipe if you used only 1 cup, but I like a little bit thinner and I get more. We usually get about 4 servings like our vegetable stir fries with this. Easy to make, delicious. Okay. I think that's it for blender recipes. I'm waiting for the end to do what I call the pièce de résistance, which is like like the coolest thing that I'm going to make. And I do seem to have plenty of time to do that. So I'm going to be able to do the air fryer recipe now. Oh, let's wait 1 minute, because once that pressure cooker is done, I can plug the air fryer in there and show you a really fun recipe. I'll tell you what the other recipes are that I haven't made yet. So I'm going to make, oh, there it is. I'm going to make an apple pie rice pudding. I'm going to make balsamic Dijon glazed Brussels sprouts. And for those of you that follow me on social media or on my mailing list, I teased you with the picture of my latest recipe that I do I do interactive cooking classes where not only do I cook for you, but I watch you cook so that you can learn. And this was one of those exclusive recipes. It's the peanut butter paradise parfait. And I'm going to show you that. And it's really easy. So I'm first going to release the pressure over here. Going to unplug it. We'll have this for dinner. Yeah, you don't have to stand there. So how long? What's that? What's that? Oh, that means the oven's preheated. I'm going to put my Alexa, set an alarm for 30 minutes. People have told me on the broadcast that when I do that, everybody's Alexa listening sets an alarm. So what was I talking about? Do you remember? Rewind. Does anybody remember what I was talking about? Oh, there we go. No, you can see, right? You can turn on how much steam is coming out now. Oh yeah, I want to tell you. And again, you don't need that diverter, guys. You can just take a towel like this. The reason is if you don't want to ruin the paint on your cabinets or ceiling. So the red lentil chili, again, that can also be frozen. My favorite way to serve it is over a whole grain or a potato. It's particularly good over Yukon Golds. It's good over russets as well, but it's really good over potatoes. Sprinkled with a little bit of faux Parmesan and some fresh chopped scallions, and I like to thinly slice jalapenos. If I'm not going to use any grain in it, then what I like to do is I like to add some very thinly angel hair sliced cabbage in it just to bulk up the nutrition, and it gives it a nice crunch. I always put scallions and jalapenos on it. I love to make baked tortilla chips out of 100% corn tortillas without any other ingredients, either in the oven or the air fryer, and I kind of like scoop it up that way. Delicious. But it's also great over brown rice or really any rice. But my favorite way to eat this red lentil chili or red no lentil chili is over a Hannah yam, which is a white sweet potato. To me, that is like probably my favorite way, my favorite meal in the whole world, which I will probably do for lunch tomorrow. So how long it takes for the pressure to be released depends on how full the unit was. So if there's not very much in a pressure cooker, it can be released very quickly in seconds or minutes. When it's a very full unit, it's just going to take a little bit longer. So I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a second. It's almost done releasing. And then I can show you some more things. But again, if it looks like I'm going too fast, it's not. It's just that everything was mise en place for me, except for one thing. I'm going to have to cut the apples from scratch. I didn't want to do that in advance because I didn't want to add lemon juice to a dessert recipe and make the apple not as sweet. And as you know, when you cut fruits like apples, it oxidizes. So that's why you'll have to bear with you to do that. So the thing is the pressure, you won't be able to open the pressure cooker until the pressure is released. That's a safety mechanism. So you can't really rush it. You just have to wait. Just like you can't hurry love, you can't hurry your pressure cooker. Wow. Okay. Well, if you're going to look over there, I can just we can just stay there and I can just show everybody what it looks like. But see, you want it to make a lot. So there we have it. This is all rice cauliflower. People didn't know they were eating cauliflower because it's the exact same flavor profile and seasonings as the original red lentil chili. And it makes a lot, and that's what you want.